All living hostages have been released as part of the current Gaza ceasefire. Here it is.
זה קרה. אתה חייב לשתות קצת, נשמה, טיפה.
That's a happy family, many happy families. Put up the pictures here. In our previous reporting, I highlighted how these families aren't terribly partisan. How can you be when you're just trying to get your loved one back? You don't care who's helping you, Trump, anyone else. The unfortunate thing, the individuals who are in charge of these deals, they have historically lied so much that it becomes an emotional roller coaster to believe in their ability to actually deliver. I'm very glad that these families have been reunited. All 20 living hostages held by Hamas and hundreds of Palestinian prisoners held by Israel, they all walked free Monday as part of a ceasefire, pausing 2 years of war. Not war, that's the improper contextualization. It's a slaughter, a massacre. The inequity of power has to always be noted here. Decimated the Gaza Strip. The average age of a Palestinian in Gaza, 19.1. Killed tens of thousands of Palestinians. They were not combat soldiers. They were just people trying to live. Hamas said Monday it will hand over the bodies of 4 of the 28 deceased captives, though it was not immediately clear when the rest would be released. Israel said it freed more than 1,900 Palestinian prisoners as part of the ceasefire deal. Speaking of parliament, Israeli prime minister and wanted war criminal Benjamin Netanyahu declared he was, quote, committed to this peace, raising hopes that the slaughter, which triggered other conflicts in the Middle East, might come to an end. But fundamental questions remain over when and how, whether Hamas will disarm and who will govern Gaza. So the ceasefire deal calls for a surge of humanitarian aid into Gaza. This comes 2 years after the crisis began. The death toll is insane. The war began when Hamas-led militants attacked southern Israel in October. It's October 7th, 2023. We remember that. Killing some 1,200 people that should be alive today. Mostly civilians. Taking 251 hostages. And in Israel's retaliatory offense, more than 67,000 Palestinians have been killed because of their response to the 1,200. That's according to Gaza's health ministry, which does not differentiate between civilians and combatants, but says around half of the dead were women and children. Now, I know we always come to this fork in the road. Of course, killing is bad. 1,200 is bad. But I don't think anybody would disagree with me that 67,000 is even worse. It's bad on both sides, obviously, when you're the person at the other end of it. Netanyahu claimed that in order to get to Hamas, he had to go through Palestinians because they were hiding among the Palestinians. So he indiscriminately ordered the killing of children, women, grandmothers, pregnant women. Do you think he would have indiscriminately killed Israelis if Hamas was hiding in Israel? Why? That's right. That's the correct answer. Upon arrival in Israel, Trump delivered his remarks. He had to put his stank on it. Here it is.
With you, I guess maybe something could happen to change my mind. Somebody that's really stupid gets into office and wants to do really bad things, but that's about it. We don't think we're going to have that happen. I hope we're not going to have that happen. And this man is a good man right here. These two men are good men right here. Hey, I have an idea. Mr. President, why don't you give him a pardon? Give him a pardon. Come
on. That was Trump calling on the Israeli president, who's not Netanyahu. Remember the whole thing where he grabbed power because of the military dynamic. But the person that was voted in, but has to do a shared power deal, Trump told him to pardon Netanyahu. Why? Because Netanyahu got corruption in his own country before all of this happened, which is probably why. Okay. So Trump was briefly silenced as Israeli politicians yelled terrorist during the address. Here it is.
Somehow can relate to him. I've known him for many years and I've seen it over and over again.
להוציא את חבר הכנסת עודה, להוציא אותו מהאולם, להוציא אותו מיד, החוצה, החוצה.
Please expel this Knesset member. Please expel this Knesset member.
להוציא גם את חבר הכנסת כסיף. להוציא את חבר הכנסת כסיף מהאולם.
Expel Knesset member Kasif out of the hall. Please expel him immediately.
Yeah, Trump doesn't quite work the same over there as it does in America. Senator, thoughts here?
I mean, Doc, you did such a wonderful job in laying out this story. You checked every single box, and I really loved how, even in reading the article that we are referencing in this story, how you corrected right in real time what they should have written. This was definitely a war on Gaza, notwithstanding what happened on October the 7th. Absolutely was tragic, unwarranted. You know, you just don't go around killing civilians. At the same time, what has happened since October 7th of 2023 to this, very moment, the ethnic cleansing, if you want to be kind, genocide, if you just want to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, that's happened to the Palestinians. And one other point that article forgot to mention, Doc, is although they have about 67,000 people dead, we know that there are more than that, number one. And number two, nothing written about the millions who were starved to death or either starving, living in famine-like conditions. So when you put all those compounding factors on this, that level of suffering at the hands of American, used with American dollars, American bombs. And that is why when people question, why does America need to be all knee deep in this, even before this moment, is because it was done in our name with our money. And that's right. The thing that we got to reckon with. And as you laid out, and the President Trump obviously knows this, that the international court, there's a warrant out for Prime Minister Netanyahu's arrest. And so if we are a nation of law and order, as the president always likes to throw up, hey, go on and follow that law and that order. He is wanted. There is a warrant out for his arrest. To those families who got their loved ones back, man, Doc, I was tearing up just seeing the footage. I can only imagine to those families who are waiting on the remains.
Yeah.
I can only imagine. And to family members who won't get remains, they won't get any closure. That's real too. And the families for the Palestinian people as well. Doc, President Trump gets credit, even though he done messed up that speech. He has done in his first phase what President Biden lacked the intestinal fortitude to do. This could have been solved a long time ago. Under both presidents, they allowed genocide to take place.
That's right. That's right. And I got to say this to Biden's detriment. He did it adverse to the political will of the entire Democratic constituency.
That's right. That's right.
That's the big difference.
That is the big difference. Like, and Vice President Harris, when she was running for president, knew full well what Democratic voters wanted and decided to go the opposite way and had to find out what they say, mess around and find out, F around and find out.
Yeah, messed around and found out. Be true to thyself.
People weren't playing on this. And now if you look at the polling, most Americans, no matter their political leanings, most voters, no matter their political leanings, especially younger Republican voters, they not rocking with this. I mean, you even got Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene talking that talk on matters like. But regardless of where the people are, you know what the right thing to do when it comes to this type of issue. It is a beautiful thing to have the American people say, we done with this, no more. But when it comes to this level of ethnic cleansing, you got to be able to stand up and lead on this. So the families, just this, for the Palestinian families, for the Israeli families, and I will definitely, for phase one, give President Donald J. Trump his credit. This needed to cease. And I hope, Doc, I really hope, Lord, and big up to the people, to the Knesset members. I thought that was a democracy, Doc, and they hauling them out the chambers like that.
They did, yeah, I know.
Yeah, big ups to them for standing up and telling the truth. I mean, this slaughter should not have gone on at all, but it did, and America is key to why it did. In this moment, I don't want to be misquoted here, Doc. In this moment, for this phase, I am going to give President Donald J. Trump credit.
You know, and I said the other day, sometimes service to self can somehow benefit others.
That's it. I mean, you and I ain't debating the reasons why he did it. And then,
right, exactly. I mean, you can't, right?
All of the people have been putting their bodies on the line. You know, people like my dear Benjamin with Cole Pink and all her little sisters that's with her and the few good men. I mean, every congressional meeting, Doc, she was right there. Jewish Voices for Peace. Uncommitted, you know, the college students that took so much grief and the professors and people who support them all over the country who are at these college campuses, taking it in the heat of the moment. Some of them being listed as to not be hired for jobs when they graduate, not being able to go walk through their graduation exercises. See, there's levels to this. And the people who saw this very clearly for what it was at the beginning took the hardest hits, Doc. They really did. Right. And so I want to lift them up as well as saying, President Trump, first phase, you did what Biden lacked the intestinal fortitude to do. Now we stay in touch. Only time will tell whether there will be true peace, self-determination, and security for both Palestinians and Israelis.
The enforcement of it becomes the factor. And I want to say this, anytime I talk about a war segment, I'm going to remind myself to always say war is never a requirement. Do not allow them to build that frame around you. It is not necessary, ever.